Ooh-wee, okay. Welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I am Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Okay, so today's episode is a post-fight show for UFC Fight Night, Ryan Bader versus Ovince Preux, and that was a light heavyweight bout, 5-rounder main event, and yeah, it was a great match. Overall, great card. The prelims all went to decision, and the main card was just action-packed. Yeah, not that the prelims were bad or anything, although it did suck in the prelims, see Nolan Tickman lose. Yeah, so let's get started. Main event, 5-rounder, Ryan Bader, Ovince Preux, light heavyweight bout, 2 top 10 ranked guys. And I called it Ryan Bader won due to his wrestling. He went for the takedowns. He kept going for the angles, creating angles and getting the takedowns and ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound, and dominant position after dominant position and constantly adjusting, and he looked pretty good on the strikes too. Ovince Preux, he did his best. I think he will learn a lot from this fight. It was a great fight overall, despite it going to a decision, which, as you all know, I'm not the biggest fan of decisions, but it happens. And yeah, Ryan Bader easily won this fight. No ifs, ands, or buts. It was a clean, unanimous decision. Ovince may have won a round, but maybe round 2 or maybe round 5. But yeah, overall, great fight. Yeah, so Ryan Bader got the takedowns en route to unanimous decision victory. Then in the co-main event, we had Ross Pearson versus Gray Maynard. I think a lot of people called this one correctly, with Ross Pearson winning by knockout somewhere in the fight. And yeah, it was round 2. It was round 2 TKO punches. Yeah, Ross Pearson put on a striking clinic, and Gray Maynard just couldn't handle it after a while, and he just got rocked and weakened blow by blow. And yeah, this was a great lightweight bout with a great finish by Ross Pearson. And yeah, it sucks to see him get robbed in that Diego Sanchez fight, but it's great to see him come back with a big strong win, which, you know, he got the win bonus, and he got definitely nods from some of the higher ups in the UFC, and he's looking good right now. I think Ross Pearson is definitely on a tear right now, and he's definitely found his groove. I think lightweight's good for him. Yeah, the whole him trying to try his luck at featherweight was just maybe not the best thing, but it was worth a try. Yeah, then in the middleweight division, also in the main card, we had Tim Boesch versus Brad Tavares. I thought Brad Tavares was going to win this one because he was on a 5-fight win streak before his loss to Yoel Romero. And yeah, Brad Tavares wasn't looking too bad. He was winning at the beginning of this fight. Then it was, yeah, round 2 TKO punches. Tim Boesch, he catches him, and he was just able to finish. And Tim Boesch, he's good at getting rocked early on in his matches and then coming back. And yeah, Tim the Barbarian Boesch, he did it. He got the win, and he needed this win too, because his last couple matches he didn't look all that great, especially in the Luke Rockhold fight. He definitely got dominated from the word go. And yeah, it's great to see Tim Boesch back. He's always fun to watch. So, plus this fight was in Maine, and he's from Maine, so it was great. Then in the welterweight division, we had Alan Jouban versus Seth Pazinski, and this lasted, yeah, just 1 round KO punches. Alan won, and no one really was expecting Alan to be this good and win by a quick knockout. I mean, Seth's pretty tough, and he's had some great performances in the octagon against like the likes of Simeon Torsen, and I felt like, you know, Seth had a chance at winning by knockout in this fight, but wow, it went the other way around. Alan Jouban, he landed some good combos and eventually got the knockout. And yeah, Seth, you know, he landed some good shots before he got knocked out though, so he went out on his shield, he went out fighting. Seth is a great fighter. He's definitely a veteran in the UFC, and hope to see him again in the UFC. It's always fun to watch him, whether you're rooting for him or rooting against him. Depending on who he's fighting, it depends on if I root for him. Alan Jouban, yeah, that guy, he could go places. He has a really good record, and he's obviously off to a great start in his UFC debut. Then, in the heavyweight division, we had Sean Jordan versus Jack May. I picked Jack May to win this fight, but Sean Jordan won, and I thought Sean Jordan was going to get knocked out, but yeah, this fight went the other way. Yeah, TKO punches round 3, Sean Jordan. Sean Jordan, he was smart. A lot of people were like, Sean Jordan needs to get the takedowns in order to win this fight and ground and pound, and that's exactly what he did. He weakened Jack May, and Jack May was really trying to fight those takedowns, but Sean Jordan just kept working at and he got those takedowns. And Sean Jordan, yeah, he's an experienced MMA fighter for sure. And yeah, he wins by TKO punches. Sean Jordan, he, you know, like, yeah, it's hard to say where he's going to go from here though, because it's a stacked heavyweight division. There's a lot of talented heavyweights out there. So to say Sean Jordan will make top 10 anytime soon, it's hard to say. I mean, he might be able to crack that bottom of the top 10 soon, but we'll see. Yeah, then to kick off the main card, we had Thiago Tavares versus Robbie Peralta. Thiago Tavares, as some of you know, met him in Vegas. Great guy. I am so happy he won this fight. Man, go Thiago. Yeah, it was great to see Thiago in his featherweight debut. You know, he started off at lightweight for the most part. He was a lightweight in the UFC for the longest time. He's pretty much one of those guys that lived off prelims for ages. And he was rarely on main cards of UFC fights, if ever. And this one, he was on the very first main card fight on this card. And wow, what a performance. It was submission rear naked choke. Yeah, round 1, knee deep in the first round, and he really did a good job getting those hooks in and really sinking in that choke. And he really worked it and was dominant on the ground, used his killer jiu-jitsu skills. He's definitely a grappler with decent striking, and he has a lot of experience. I'm happy for him. Can't wait to see him again. And speaking of seeing him again, I really hope Nolan Tickman watches his fight with Frankie Saenz and see what he does, what he did wrong, and just really get that win the next fight. I'm really rooting for Nolan. I think he can definitely pick himself up and definitely get a win, hopefully in the UFC. Be great. So good luck Nolan. Keep your head up. I'll be rooting for you. And that wraps up the post-fight show for Ryan Bader versus OSP. Stay tuned for my next episodes, which will be about Michael Bisping versus Kung Lee and Rafael Dos Anjos versus Ben Henderson. Yeah, there's 2 UFC fight cards in one day this coming Saturday. So until then, see you. Bye.